I use a line with my buddies in my Discord, the rich man mindset. You either have it or you don't. Whenever someone is using lower tier ammos than they should be using, uncharging their scythe for their gargoyles task, doing an herb run with a 2+ build bank, heading to the GE between raids because they're out of prayer potions, and they end up only buying 50, they lack the rich man mindset. This doesn't come from your bank value, but from your state of mind. Guzzling sandfuse, gobbling sweets, dumping a hail of dragon darts on your foes. Nothing is stopping you from doing this. As a player who worked up to almost an 8 build bank from scratch, I've made many a dumb mistake with the way I've managed my growing bank. Get ready to acquire some knowledge as we journey to learn what the rich man mindset is, what the common pitfalls people fall into are, and how to pull yourself towards a higher bank value. Keep in mind, nothing I discuss in this video is a hard or fast rule, just generalities I follow as a player. Please don't get upset if I mention your money-making method and call it inefficient. Do what makes you happy. Of course, we can't talk about anything without laying out what opportunity cost is. Opportunity cost is a really simple concept, but it is not common sense whatsoever. From Google, opportunity cost is the loss of potential gain from other alternatives when one alternative is chosen. Basically, time spent doing something is time spent not doing something else. A really basic common example is doing a faster viable method that costs more if you can make more from your best moneymaker and the time spent makes that faster method worth doing. You can get about 350k XP an hour doing oak dungeon doors, for example, and 700k XP an hour doing mahogany tables. Mahogany tables cost 8 GP and XP more than oak doors. Let's say you need 8 mil more construction XP to 99. Oak doors would take 23 hours. Mahogany tables would take 11.5. Doing that grind with dungeon doors would cost 56 mil. Doing it with mahogany tables would cost 120 mil. So, if in 11.5 hours you can make up that 64 mil difference, it would be worth doing. And we can reduce that down to simpler terms at 5.6 mil GP an hour opportunity cost to do those mahogany tables. Hallowed Sepulchre is an example that comes up often. People ask me if skipping coffins is worth it. The coffins on floor 4 provide an opportunity cost of 4 mil GP an hour. Let's say you spent a pure hour of going out of your way to grab coffins on that floor, you would have made 4 mil. For anyone wondering, floor 5 coffins are 10 mil, the final regular coffin is 20 mil because you get double loot, and the grand coffin is 50 mil, opportunity cost on all of these. So for someone who can do Hydra, skipping floor 4 of Sepulchre is a logical choice, and for someone who can do Nex at max efficiency, skipping floor 5's first 2 basic coffins is also logical, since they are 10 mil GP an hour opportunity, and Nex is 16 mil GP an hour. This has been explained to death over the years by tons of people, but it's still really hard to get the idea to come through in general gameplay. Opportunity cost applies to literally everything you do in the game. This applies to lower intensity or AFK methods versus the more efficient method as well. Choosing to T-bow camp Zulrah instead of hybrid is an opportunity cost of 10 kills in that hour, instead of watching Netflix while killing her. Elf Agility versus Sepulchre is the same thing. I've seen people burn out playing this game worrying about being max efficient at all times, but when you break it down like this, maybe you're going to watch the movie regardless, but now you can AFK Runescape on the side since you are doing a lower intensity method. Suddenly, that low intensity method is efficient for your time. I'm mining amethyst while writing the script for the pet chance. It would be faster to do gem rocks for the pet, but I need to write the script, and I can only do amethyst while writing it. So that's efficient for me to do. There's also the idea of potential money. This is money you haven't earned yet, but will be earning in the near future due to some kind of grind you're going to do anyway. This is money you are going to earn as a byproduct that is simply a nice bonus. Grinding agility or runecrafting to 99 are both potentially around 250 mil GP, depending on how you do them. Many profitable boss pet grinds are worth well over 500 mil GP. The timing with which you do these grinds affects other grinds. Maybe you don't currently own a scythe, so going for Thermi Pet ASAP may not be the best idea. But you have max gear for Venenatus, so maybe it is worth doing that grind first. Doing methods with subpar gear is often not the best play, rather than just waiting until you've got the funds for all the equipment you need and doing it in the fastest way possible. Herb runs is a common trap I see people fall into. They're a constant, steady flow of GP that adds up as you do them, but are they really worth doing? Assuming you have all 9 herb patches unlocked, all diaries and quests completed, 99 farming with the cape equipped with magic secateurs, and access to all efficient teleports, you make a profit on average of about 250k GP for a full herb run. Assuming you quit what you're doing, gear up incredibly quickly, and do not waste ticks on your teleports along with abusing the tick manip to pick herbs faster, I'll be generous and say you can complete a run in 5 minutes. I would say that's not normal for most people. I found a video of someone doing a, quote, efficient herb run, losing very few ticks with average yield of herbs in 4 minutes. So I think saying 5 minutes is pretty fair. At 5 minutes a run, 250k profit per run, you can complete 12 herb runs per hour for 3 mil GP an hour profit at absolute maximum efficiency. Forecast for comparison is anywhere from 3 mil GP an hour to 5 mil GP an hour, depending on gear. Herb runs make a lot of sense earlier on in an account, but if you have access to Vorkath or better, you're probably better off skipping the herb runs and just straight bossing instead. Supplies, supplies, supplies. Penny pinching and using weaker supplies was something I did a lot as a poor noob. But there comes a point where you make enough money that this kind of thing should just become a non-concern. I've seen people using an uncharged scythe at places like gargoyles on a main, non-dragon arrows in their T-bow, and using a trident instead of a saying to save money. If you have the money for these insane items, you also have access to ridiculous moneymakers. Yes, you will make more total profit at Kraken using a trident instead of a saying. You will also waste a lot of time banking because you aren't immortal without a saying staff. Which, considering the boss gives barely any money to begin with, you might as well grind the pet at the maximum possible efficiency with your best weapons available, and use that time saved to do more raids, Nightmare, Nex, Gauntlet, Hydra, or work on other profitable pets. Blood Fury and Scythe cost a ton of money to use at Grotesque Guardians, but it's worth losing that money to get the pet significantly faster than with any other method. This is why I love ults for pet hunts so much. They increase kill speed and they reduce supply cost, allowing me to use the most powerful weapons with reckless abandon. There are loads of places I dump ridiculous amounts of money on supplies, but it's worth doing this with my level of account progression. On my recent combat achievements grind for challenge mode chambers, I used a Blood Fury and Scythe for almost all of those achievements, as well as about 100 purple sweets a raid. This increased the speed at which I could finish the achievements on average, even though these supplies were costly. I've been grinding Inferno for a good PB lately, and with each run I use 11 Sandfuse Serums, many hundred Chinchampas, and loads of Dragon Darts. These supplies I use are what even makes the time possible, so they are 100% worth using. I treat a good PB grind in the same way I treat a pet grind. They are very similar. I've seen people trying to penny pinch in runs trying to get their first Inferno cape as well, worrying about the cost of using blood runes and dragon darts in the run. They worry about this so much that it actually eats up brain power and makes them play worse than the Inferno run they're doing, I can tell. You should simply use the supplies you need for the run and worry about getting more supplies later. Trying to save your money in every little way possible often prevents you from obtaining significantly more than you could. Runescape parallels with real life in an almost eerie way. Slowly putting your money towards upgrades that help you earn money faster has an exponential effect on your earnings. Eventually, if you do enough PVM, things like supply costs become a distant concern of the past. If you're catching this video as it goes up, I will be live on Twitch. I've been working on quite a bit of melee next with my clan lately, and we've been getting spooned left and right. I'm also still working on that sub 48 Inferno grind, slowly but surely. And that's it for the video. Leave a like if you like it, and or subscribe. Thanks, guys.